Longchenpa, also known as Longchen Rabjam, infinite, vast expanse of space, or Dream Ozer, 1308 to 1364, was one of the most brilliant teachers of the Nyingma lineage. He systematized the Nyingma teachings in his 7 treasures and wrote extensively on Dzogchen. He transmitted the Longchen Nyingtik cycle of teachings and practice to Jigme Lingpa, and it has since become one of the most widely practiced of traditions. The immediate reincarnation of Pema Ledreltsal, Longchenpa, is regarded as an indirect incarnation of the Princess Pema Sal. He was born in the Tra Valley of southern Tibet to Master Tenpasung, an adept at both the sciences and the practice of mantra, and Dramza Sonam Gyen, who was descended from the family of Dramtonpa Gyalway Jungne. Longchenpa was first ordained at the age of 11 and studied extensively with the 3rd Karmapa, Rangjung Dorje. He received not only the Nyingma transmissions as passed down in his family, but also studied with many of the great teachers of his day. He received the combined Kadam and Sakya teachings of the Sutrayana through his main Sakya teacher, Lama Dampa Sonam Gyaltsen, in addition to the corpus of both Old and New Translation Tantras. At the age of 19, Longchenpa entered the famous Shedra Sangfu Nutak, where he acquired great scholarly wisdom. He later chose to practice in the solitude of the mountains, after becoming disillusioned by the behavior of some scholars. During his late 20s, 2 events occurred that were to be of decisive importance in his intellectual and spiritual development. One was a vision of Guru Padmasambhava and Yeshe Tsogyal, and the other was his meeting with the great Rigzin Kumaradza. It was in the mountains that he met Rigzin Kumaradza, who was traveling from valley to valley, leading his students through the most difficult of circumstances. Together with Rangjung Dorje, Longchenpa accompanied them for 2 years, during which time he received all of Rigzin Kumaradza's transmissions and underwent tremendous hardship. After several years in retreat, Longchenpa attracted more and more students, even though he had spent nearly all of his life in mountain caves. During a stay in Bhutan, Longchenpa founded several monasteries, including Tharpaling near Bumthong, and fathered 2 children, his son Tulku Drakpa Ozer, born in 1356. Going on to become a holder of the Nyingtik lineage, the events leading up to Longchenpa's parinirvana are recorded in a text known as the Immaculate Radiance, which includes these lines. My delight in death is far, far greater than the delight of traders at making vast fortunes at sea, or the lords of the gods who vaunt their victory in battle, or of those sages who have entered the rapture of perfect absorption. So just as a traveler who sets out on the road when it is time, I, Pema Ledreltsal, will not remain in this world any longer, but will go to dwell in the stronghold of the great bliss of deathlessness. Sogyal Rinpoche writes, the figure of Longchen Rabjam stands out as one of the greatest Dzogchen masters in the Nyingma tradition and amongst the most brilliant and original writers in Tibetan Buddhist literature. He was the author of over 200 works, of which only about 25 survive, and amongst which the 7 treasuries and 3 trilogies are most well known. It was he who brought together into a cohesive system the teachings of Vima Nyingtik and Kandro Nyingtik, on which he wrote the 3 Yangtik, or inner essences. As Nyoshul Ken Rinpoche explains, Gongkyen Longchenpa's 7 treasuries were written to elucidate the extraordinarily profound meaning of the 17 main tantras of Dzogpa Chenpo, as well as the teachings of all 9 yanas. For the purpose of the actual practice of Dzogchen, according to these tantras, Longchenpa gathered his own termas, as well as those of Chitsen Senge Wangchuk, who was later reborn as Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo, and Pema Ledreltsal, Longchenpa's previous incarnation, in the form of the 13-volume collection known as the Nyingtik Yabshi. This Yabshi is the practice aspect of Longchenpa's writings and the basis of the Old Nyingtik. In it, he synthesized the Vima Nyingtik of Vimalamitra and the Khandro Nyingtik of Guru Rinpoche and explained all the practical details in the light of his own realization.